Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Whew, it's been a while since I've made a video. Man, it's been an interesting couple months, man. Freaking got hit with sickness, as a bunch of people have. Just had to take a huge break just in life kind of thing. You know, not a YouTube thing, nothing, just everything kind of break. So that lasted for a long time. So now we're getting back into it. I've got a knife that I'm going to review for you guys today that I've had for a couple months that I've been needing to do a review on. So I appreciate patience on that from Odenwolf. So anyway, this is the Odenwolf Ambulo, and if you look below, I'll always post coupon codes that you can use for affiliate links. You can just click on it, you can go right to Odenwolf's website or anything else that I put down there, and if you use the affiliate link, you'll get 10% off, or if you just punch in my code March10 at the end when you check out, you can get 10% off. So always take advantage of the links below to save yourself a little bit of jingle jangle. So all right, so it's still getting over some sickness here. Odenwolf Ambulo. This is kind of what I would consider their flagship bushcraft knife. And you know, they did send this to me, full transparency, so I didn't pay for this one with my own money, but I will always give a really honest review. And I had received one of these same knives and I started to do my review video, and that particular one was not up to par in sharpness with what I am used to from Odenwolf. So I contacted them and I said, hey, look, I started to make this video and the sharpness just wasn't up to par. And I said, that is all the Odenwolf knives that I had reviewed. I said, I know that's like a one-off. That is not indicative of Odenwolf knives. I said, every Odenwolf knife I've ever received was extremely sharp and workable right out of the box. And I know that's something that is important to me in my tests that I do for you guys. And I know it's important to Odenwolf because they responded in the email and they said as much. And so they sent me a whole nother one. I still have the other one. They sent me a whole nother one and to review, so that, you know, hopefully it's going to do exactly what Odenwolf knives have always done straight out of the box, which is they will kill, they will cut. All right, so sorry about that spiel, but I wanted to be honest with you guys. So, all right, here we go. The Ambulo, same deal that you're kind of used to with Odenwolf knives. You know, you see, you get your when you buy them, yours. Until then, it's theirs. High quality, really high quality Kydex sheath. I mean, the sheaths. This knife is going for only like 50 bucks. I think $49 US, and then if you use the discount code, you get it for even less. So, you know, the sheaths, I'm always like, the sheaths themselves sometimes feel like they can be worth as much as what the whole package is, you know, 30, 40, 50 bucks. You could see paying for this type of sheath with the type of features that the sheath has, right? I mean, it's got a Ferro rod holder, it's got a Ferro rod. It's got this really nice tech lock clip on the back, which these tech lock clips, you know, they're neat. You can rearrange them in any pattern that you want, right? For horizontal carry, vertical carry, if you want, if that's what you're into, or if you like to do the scalp carry thing, you can do that. What I did is I have a seat cover on my front seat of my truck, and it's got like a strap goes around the middle to keep the seat cover on and tight. Well, this tech lock clip is perfect for putting on that, and it just keeps the knife like right there behind the seat, you know, so you got a nice sharp knife to can just rapid deploy right from the back seat, or you could reach kind of through the, you know, side of the seat in the truck and reach it. So that's what I've been doing with it, tech locking that thing right to the back of the seat. So that's a super awesome, and it's a real tech lock. It's not like a knockoff brand or something like that. It's a real genuine tech lock clip. So that is really nice. Secondly, you've got your other methods of attachment. You know, you got your standard belt loop here that's connected to a clip, probably some sort of injected molded plastic. But anyway, so you could put this on your belt, and if you want to take the knife off, if you're sitting down and maybe you want to stick it in your seat while you're driving, you can do that, and you can easily clip the knife back on when you're not driving or whatever. There's also a Velcro option of this that you can just Velcro the whole thing on, and it has a snap, and then you don't have to take your belt off to put the knife on to begin with. But I just find that these are more secure, so I don't have the Velcro strap to show you, but it's in past knives. So you got that option too. So you've got basically 3 different options of attachment with this knife just on the sheath, and we're talking 50 bucks, right? So nice positive retention in there in the Kydex sheath. No issues with that whatsoever. Same deal with the Ferro rod. Ferro rod's brand new, knife's brand new. Haven't done anything with this knife. Have not done a thing. So even though I've been carrying it around, I haven't used it. Now you can see how your Ferro rod just goes in there real nice. Nice, good little. So the retention is positive, but I think that it's not so positive that you could not easily dislodge it out in the bush. Like if you were just kind of, casually walking or something. Stand by. All right, I had to pause my video for a minute. My daughter had woken up and she was wondering where Daddy was. So that's where I was. Now I got to remember where the hell I set the knife. All right, take 3. Boy, you can't make this stuff up. So, all right, will we have more interruptions? I don't know. We'll see. So I was saying that the retention on the Ferro rod is a little loose for really trusting it to stay in there if you were, getting a little chippy out there. So I would definitely recommend putting some sort of cordage on the Ferro rod if you were going to be depending on it as a primary method of fire starting. So of course you should always have some backup methods, but you get what I'm saying. This isn't going to turn into a survival class. So all right, you get all that. I think we thoroughly went over the sheath. Now let's talk about the knife. The reason why you're here, you're probably like 7 minutes in and he hasn't shown knife. Yeah. As you're always, at least at this point, I'm used to with Odenwolf is quality. But this is just a whole other level of quality here with the Odenwolf knife. You've got G10 scales instead of like the rubber injection molded or whatever the other material that they use on their other knives, like the W right here. Okay, 2 knives, 2 Odenwolf knives, both great, love them both, but boy, this puppy. This is 440C. This is D2. So you're getting a more premium steel on this. You're getting D2 here on this particular knife, the Ambulo. Let's not start cross-pollinating here. I know it's 2025 and all. All right, so here we go. Just right away you notice quality difference, right? This looks like, a real bushcrafter because it is. It's got the look, it's got everything. The first one I had black scales, which looked really nice as well, black sheath. So if you like that, that's a color option for you. But here we've got this really beefy blade. This blade, like, I have not batoned with this knife yet, but I would have no issues batoning with it. It's like 3/16 inch thick back there. Nice, good hollow grind. I think you could probably baton the hell out of this knife and it's going to be just fine, I have a feeling. Blade profile, right? You've got that drop point, almost kind of like mimics a harpoon point, right? You've got that kind of harpoon point look to it, where the drop of the blade on the top of the spine comes in, and you've kind of got those secondary. You've got those secondary bevels up there. which are kind of like reverse hollow ground. And you know, that's going to actually help if you stab something with this and you want to have the blade come back out nice and easy. You're going to kind of get that with those bevels and grinds that you've got up there. And then you go right from the top of the primary grind. It just is the full thickness and goes straight up to the back of the spine. So there you've got a really nice batoning piece. It's going to kind of act like that wood wedge. So I think that a lot of thought went into this blade design as far as from a bushcraft, hunting knife standpoint. It's kind of got everything, you know, that's desirable about a knife that's used in those kind of conditions. So I really like that. You've got a very mild sharpening choil. I really like that. I'm not going to snag up my cordage or anything super easily like a much deeper sharpening choil does. Do not like that. You know that if you've watched my channel long enough. Now, jimping, another thing that I can love or hate or just not even have, doesn't really matter to me. Jimping is just, for me, it's always been an afterthought. I just never ever in a camp situation or anything like that, whether it's casual camping or like for real in the backcountry, whatever I'm doing, have I, oh, dog just hit the camera, it's probably cooking now. Have I ever been like, man, I'm so glad that knife had jimping? You know, I have not encountered that situation myself. Other people could be totally different. Some people say they help strike a ferro rod a little bit better, whatever, potato. I think that could be maybe semantics, but maybe not. Anyway, my point is like, I don't need a knife to have jimping. This one does have jimping. To me, if it's jimped and it's poor jimping, it would have been better just to not have it at all, because bad jimping can take away from an otherwise really great knife because it hurts, right? It's like cuts you. You're just like, this is stupid. I don't even need it. Awesome knife that, you know, wants to cut me going both ways when I use it, right? So this jimping's very mild. It's almost like a file. It's very fine. It's not very deep or super aggressive. It's kind of barely there. It's hard to say if you would get a hot spot from that to me, because I want to right away, my first answer wants to be, I feel like that could give me a hot spot, but then I'm like, I rub my finger on it like this, you know, and I'm like, no. It gives you a little tactile grip, I suppose, if you feel like you need it, but I don't think you're going to get a hot spot from it. I don't know. It's hard to say using this in and out, because I most things I do end up going way past the jimping anyway on most knives. It's like, that's like a pinching, you know, you might, it's not really, maybe doing a little chopping with it. You might, you know, hold it like that sometimes. But lots of times, kind of putting my thumb up here, or I'm actually grabbing the blade like this if I'm skinning something out. So, I don't know. This jimping, it's just, it is what it is. I don't think it's good or bad. I just think it's neutral jimping, which I'll take that over bad jimping. All right. So if you like jimping, you may like that jimping. You may think that it's perfect. I don't need it. Obviously, we're talking full tang here. Lanyard, hole at the end of the hilt here. Heavy. It's like you got something in your hand. This is a heavy knife, especially compared to like the W. I don't know what the weight differences are, but it's significant between the two. You know, probably double. This feels like it's probably almost double the weight of this. And that's a lot. If you're an ultralight guy or gal and you count every ounce, this might not be the knife for you. You know, if you want to feel like if you're that person, and I'm kind of that person, depending, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I want to feel like I got something in my hand when I'm taking a knife, you know, like I want to feel like my knife can really take a little bit of abuse if I'm, you know, for real out there. But that's not to say I would feel just as good with this W, you know, because I have confidence in myself and I know that this is a good knife. But man, if we were talking hardcore surviving bushcrafting for days and days and things like that, camping, even if you're, you know, overlanding, truck camping, but you're splitting a lot of kindling, man, you're probably going to want something like this that you can really hammer on. And I don't mean that in a bad way, you know, like you shouldn't hammer on your knife, but if you baton properly, a knife should be able to take it. And let's face it, I mean, if a knife company these days is not taking batoning into, you know, their design when it comes to their blades, I think the days of saying, oh, you shouldn't baton your knife are so far behind us. Like, yeah, you should baton your knife because it's a awesome way to split kindling. It's a great way. Anyway, so this is a bushcrafter, man. So if you don't mind the extra weight, you're gonna have a knife on your side that is just gonna be up for any challenge. You know you're not gonna easily break the blade or anything like that. That good heavy 3/16 D2 steel that runs all the way through the entirety of the whole blank of steel. You know, I mean, it's a full, that's not abnormal, obviously. That's what a good full tang knife is, right? But it's just so sturdy feeling, you know, absolutely sturdy. And what I know is this thing would probably be a excellent chopper, like, you know, cutting little willow branches, knocking little branches off of, you know, anything. Like if you know, you need a pole or something. I mean, I can see this knife just being a great little chopper with that heft and weight to it. I mean, it's not really a chopping blade, but I can still tell that it would be a really good chopper. What I like about this, the back of the grip here, is it's got a nice, good palm swell all the way through, but you've got a nice kind of palm swell there, ergonomic to my hand. And what they've done here is, you know, they've got this primary finger choil, then they've kind of got this like elongated finger choil. And then you can see where this last portion of the handle of the knife kind of bellies back out, right? So it kind of has a fat belly right here. And if you're, you know, if you're doing those little chopping tasks, it allows you through design to focus. I can just feel it. I could focus the best part of the knife for chopping, which is the dead center, where like kind of you're gonna have this weight from center to the, you know, upper quarter. Chop, 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 lopping off little branches, and that's perfect for my two fingers to go right into that elongated choil. But then that, see, if this was just straight across, profile of this, if it was just straight across and it didn't fatten back up right here, doing this, you'd be way more likely to accidentally let go of the knife and stick it into the ground or whatever, right? You know, inadvertently on the pavement. But because it swells back up like that, it kind of is something you can kind of, it hooks it into place in a way in your palm, in your hand. That's good. I don't know if they did that on purpose or if that was just, you know, happy little whoopsie, but I love that. Now I can tell, you know, if you do that a lot and you don't do it all the time and your hand's not used to the particular knife you're doing it with and all that stuff, and you don't have a well-worn callus right here, any knife is going to eventually start to give you a blister and wear you a little raw right here. Now, but what I do notice is with that really far out aggressive lanyard hole, I could feel that this knife would probably accelerate that hot spot on your palm a bit faster than maybe a knife handle that doesn't kind of, you know, it exposes almost like a windshield breaking point, right? A dull point, basically. It's a dull point. So that dull point is concentrating into that part of your palm, instead of if the scales went all the way through and you could still have the lanyard hole, but the scales could fill in that point, and then that wouldn't be as noticeable. So maybe that's something that, you know, Odenwolf could do. I would say just take those scales right on around, fill in that. All right, so not a whole lot more to talk about. We talked about the blade profile extensively. We talked about the handle extensively. We talked about how good it feels in the hand. It feels like you've really got a true bushcrafter in your hand, because you do. D2 tool steel, we talked about the blade geometry, all those things. G10 scales, full tang, yada yada, jimping. So now we always do a cut test and a ferro rod test. Now this ferro rod, this is all out of the box stuff. This ferro rod has a full coating on it, so I know from experience I've got to get that coating off before it'll really start throwing sparks. But there it goes. Oh yeah, really good. That felt great. Some knives you go to, you know, hit your ferro rod and they just don't feel as secure in your hand. You feel like you're like kind of balancing the knife, because you don't want it to rock the wrong way when you're hitting your ferro rod. But this one, it just kind of, again, naturally fits in there, and it's just like it's locked into place, and you don't have to do any weird manipulating with your wrist. You can just push and pull, or not pull, leave it in place, right? I mean, whatever you want to do to test it out. But if you're really trying to get down to your Tinder bundle, really good. I like it. Passes the ferro rod test with flying colors. Now we're going to cut, for our cut test, we're going to do some thicker cardboard paper, kind of like poster board. Something a little thicker with a little more resistance than the lighter weight, more delicate printer paper. So here we go. Yeah. See, the last knife they sent me really had a little hitch in its giddy up. That was just me there. Had a hitch in its giddy up. It just couldn't do that. And I believe enough in Odenwolf's reputation and been working with him long enough to know that that was a mistake. And I think I owed it to him to give me a chance to test one of these that was, you know, at its fullest potential. But also still inform you, the watcher, that I did get an imperfect Odenwolf knife, and I didn't just try to pump it out there and be like, oh, the knife's fine, make excuses. No, I'm letting you know that that could happen to anybody. You could order an Odenwolf knife, and you know, you could get one that also is not perfect out of the box like this one. So this thing passed flying colors, all the tests. Really good. You know, a couple little things that I would like to see done differently, but you're not going to be at a disservice with this as your primary bushcraft knife for $50, and then whatever your discounts can get you. So good job, Odenwolf. You know, I would probably give this, like, I don't know, I hate doing a scale, I hate doing a rating, especially on a knife that I haven't actually got to use in the field. I'm just doing a primary or a initial review. Right now I'd give it probably about a 7.5 out of 10. I think it would probably get an 8 to 8.5 out of 10 if it didn't have that. It's just my preference though. So, all right, appreciate it. Catch you on the happy hunting grounds. Thank you for being here. And I got some more videos I got to pump out, so see you.